I tell everybody all the time, man, if this town is the exact same, that doesn't look anything like it used to.
Like he's saying he's thinking he'll have to shut down if they go through with it. So it's one of those things that you understand that everything's getting more expensive, but like at some point we've got to find a way to be more efficient.
At some point in time, one of two things happens. You either pay $50 for a cheeseburger and fries, or that business doesn't exist anymore.
Actually, with the ice storm, we lost a bunch of tree limbs, so we just rehung all our our nice string lights out there. There's nothing I love better than a warm Friday night where we can sit and have a beer in the backyard with a burger. The energy's like, it's just so infectious. Even just, I'm just going to go sit in the side and just soak it up.
I do think that being able to hang on to some of those traditions, and that's why when you were mentioning that 15-year mark earlier, it's not a heavy celebrated one, but now we've got some roots.
Wait.
Welcome back to Single Tree Nation, guys. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, and as always, we have our illustrious co-host, Mr. Derry Wells, with us.
Everybody?
It is starting off to be an epic show already. We are talking about illegally operated food trucks. And
the distinction of when they were made.
Yes. And we keep adding time to how many years and days we've been open.
May 1st seems to be a very cognitive date. So just FYI.
It's really kind of funny because May 1st was the first day that we legally started operating the food truck. And the restaurant got its sign put up on May 1st.
See, there you go.
So I use May 1st now as
it's just
as
your
the
pointed
day.
date. Yeah.
We were the business actually started in October of 2020, but we weren't fully licensed and operated with the food truck until a few months later.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So
I love it. I love
it. We were doing other things.
Backyard sales.
Yes.
Prep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We were prepping.
Getting ready,
and
making
menu
schedules
building.
away out.
Yeah. It took me 6 months to figure out how to open the door.
You build the inventory.
But, it's a process of layering seasoning,
but
on the smoker.
Yes.
I love it.
Look, guys, we have a pretty cool show today. We have a Nashville staple with us today. We have Daniel from the pharmacy. Mr. Daniel, thank you for coming to hang out with us today. We appreciate you.
It's great to be here. It's awesome kind of hearing you guys talk about things. I'm an MTSU alum, so living in East Nashville now for coming on 15 years. I don't get this way as often as I used to, the way traffic is on 24 and stuff. But
I don't blame you.
You could just say the way traffic is.
Yeah,
you don't
that's
have
fair.
to give, it's
That's
not
fair.
where.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Smyrna, went to MTSU, and then I moved east and kind of never looked back. But it's nice being down this way and seeing all the ways it hasn't changed and has changed. So
I tell everybody all the time, man, that this town is the exact same, that doesn't look anything like it used
Absolutely. The more things change, the more it's the same.
Yes.
I mean, that is
Yeah.
Murfreesboro in a nutshell.
Yeah. It's you can get across town, and I figured out that you can get across this town in 10 minutes, or you can get across this town
In 1 hour.
in an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Right. No. My wife and I left the same destination to go to the same destination in two separate cars the other day. I went one direction, she went another. She got there 20 minutes before me.
Did she use a map assisted driving?
No, she got on the interstate and scooted down the interstate and bypassed all the traffic, and I went through town.
wow.
Okay. I was just because
I took the most direct route, and she took the path less traveled.
I am from here, grown up here. I mean, been here since I was 4, and I will still take old traffic patterns that I'm used to.
Yeah.
And my wife, we can get into the car to go somewhere we've been 20 times, and she'll put it in her phone. What are you doing? We know how to get there.
Yeah.
Not this time of day. Well, the road didn't change. She's right. I now use downtown more than I've ever used it to circumvent anything Memorial Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyhow.
Yeah, I'd do anything I can to just not get in my car.
You need an autopilot. Restaurant, home, that's it. Like just,
I need a Segway is what I need.
There it is.
You know,
it's probably not a bad idea.
Go wherever I want to.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I got a scooter.
Not one you can put on sidewalks, though.
You can. It's just frowned upon.
Yeah.
He has a full-fledged, like 900 horsepower motorcycle or something like that.
Okay.
Don't let
900
him,
horsepower motorcycle?
It's way too large to be operated on a motorcycle or on a sidewalk. That's the point.
I need a 900 horsepower.
No, you don't. That's the last thing. Like, man, listen.
That would
I
be
looked
amazing.
up. The Olympics just wrapped up, right? And they were talking about. I was noticing these drones following the luge and following the skiers, and I was like, I really want to see what they're capable of doing. The fastest recorded drone ever is like 412 miles an hour. It was homemade. They 3D printed it, shaved it down, came up with a thing, put the motor in it, and there it went. And I was like, we're in a world that we don't get. Like, I mean, 400 miles an hour, and it's homemade. Like, it's not like, like, it's insanity. And
so the question is how fast did they go in the luge?
I don't know.
I think like 70, 80 miles an hour.
Yes.
So not,
I know that the
not drone fast.
The skeleton gets up right around 75 or 80. A lot of your skiers will break 80, 81, 82, somewhere in there. And I still can't make that concept of I'm going down a sheet of ice that fast. But
it is really bizarre to think they're going highway speeds.
Yes.
It doesn't look, it doesn't feel right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, at like a 90-degree angle.
Right. I mean, it is. I don't care. So I grew up with the Olympics, and I think a lot of our generation did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's still nostalgic for us. Mm-hmm. There are people now just like, it's the Olympics. Who cares? I still look at those people. They are an athlete that we will never understand. Because and as much as I will kind of hate on it for a second, but it's because I love it. Even the guys curling, I dare you to get down in that position. Like when your left knee goes out and your buttocks is about 3 inches off your heel and you are sliding across the ice. Like there's just no, I was trying to keep it radio friendly. I didn't know how to do that. But seriously, like we couldn't even get in that position. And they're out there just time after time. It's smooth.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't get on that position on carpet.
You prop yourself on the wall. Well, we got somebody here with a daggum burger restaurant. We're talking about calisthenics. Let's get it going over here.
All right, but before we get there, I gotta ask. We're talking. Obviously, we just finished up the Winter Olympics.
Yes.
So, are you a Winter Olympics guy or a Summer Olympics guy?
You know, I think so. There's more going on in the Summer Olympics, but I've always and they are like I mean they're the Olympics. You know, you've got all the biggest sports that matter the most are, I think, undeniably in the Summer Olympics. But there's something so charming about the Winter Olympics. There's a lot of just random sports that I find a lot of it really engaging.
Daniel, I don't know if Nancy Kerrigan would say they were charming.
Wow.
Okay, well that's fair.
1992 here.
That's
golly.
Fair. Yeah.
So,
but
Tanya Harding
that's a good
is
point.
not charming.
Good point, touche. But there's it's just random and arbitrary, and it also like it shows up. There's a lot going on in the summer, so like I feel like the Summer Olympics when you're a kid. When you're kind of, if they show up when you're out of school and you watch a lot of them as an adult,
Absolutely.
I've got way less time. But then the Winter Olympics crop up. There's no other sports on. It's like the middle of the season for hockey and basketball. So if you're a sports fan, there's like nothing happening.
but hockey stops.
Hockey stops for the Olympics
Yeah.
as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
So it clears out. And then like I didn't get sick this time, but there's a number of years I've gotten sick during the Winter Olympics and just in like a feverish stupor watched people do curling and things. And it's like a transcendent experience, just like in a daze watching and like,
It is.
you know, and so like that I have more like wonderful memories of the Winter Olympics, I think. And then the figures, the figure skating is great. There's all the speed skating's fun.
But I think
the biathlon where they're shooting and skiing is amazing.
That's crazy.
There was one dude.
They're shooting with like 150 RPMs or not RPMs, but beats per minute or whatever. Heartbeats. Yeah.
There's one guy doing 10.8 miles per hour uphill in skis.
That's crazy.
Like that's just insanity. Because he was on that part where he's going to do the shooting podium or whatever, and he's getting to do whatever he's doing. I think the part for me that makes winter better, summer, almost everything about the summer Olympic elements are controlled. My water temperature in the pool is just right. The air conditioning in the gym. The only thing that they really fight is the sun in track and field. I mean, even the rain, as soon as it dries, they go.
Yeah.
You're sitting there. I saw one of the ski jump things. And when you're doing 80 miles an hour downhill in a snowstorm, you can't see where you're going to land. Like there's an element there that the nature provides that you can't duplicate or anything else as much as we try. But then you hear about the curling ice scientist or whatever his name was, ice technologist, whatever, and he puts down ice and sprinkles in certain ways so that the curling stone doesn't bog down and this and that, but you can't have them go too fast. Like there's a science to it. And he's like, head science culture or ice culturist. I'm like, what? Like that just, but whatever his name, it was silly. That's the point. And I made it, but
there's culturist. I love it. That's outstanding.
That needs to be the name of the guy behind the bar that makes the fancy cubes. What's his title? Ice culturist. You want round or square?
It's gonna be great.
Or cylinder. Have you seen the thing where these bars and restaurants now are putting in full cubes of ice, and when you pour the drink into it, depending on whatever alcohol, it looks like it's a full glass. And then you lift the thing of ice out, and there's about this much fluid in the bottom. The whole glass is surrounded by this ice cube. And I'm not
cocktail bar thing.
Yeah. I'm not saying you know what you're paying for. You're going to a high-end cocktail bar, but it seems just almost shady. Like it. Yeah. But the mint looks good.
Yeah.
Like, it's like because it fits.
So I think in a mixologist way, there's something about the liquid and ice, like the liquid to ice ratio, where they're trying to chill it down.
Yep.
But it can feel fraudulent if it's not.
Because you're buying a shot for $20. Like,
You are.
And if I think about it from that aspect,
once cocktails hit $16 in Nashville, I just look at the menu, and I'm not even getting one, and it hurts me. And they're not that cheap anymore now.
We're about to cross over that next year when property taxes go up to 40%.
Oh my word. I can't believe all the stories coming out about that.
It's bad, man.
I was interested in asking y'all about that, and because I know some of the bigger places. I mean, Acme Feed, he's obviously got a lot of the notoriety because his is such a huge impact downtown.
Yes.
But even
his is ridiculous.
But even Carrie Bringle has spoken out about it, and I've wanted to know.
Carrie's been very vocal about it for a long time.
But the impact that has to even a smaller market like you guys, smaller footprint, your building's not as massive, you don't have as much land associated with it. What does that begin to look like when you're accounting for all the variables that you know that another year holds?
So that's a great question. It's, you try to do your best to like budget and get ahead of it. Some of these things you don't know till they show up. Like I don't think ours for this year's come in yet, but some of the things are proposed. But there's been, I mean, I live real close to the building too, and like mine keeps ticking up as well personally. And it's like, personally and professionally, it's like all those things they hurt a lot. I know Acme, which is like, I don't know how busy they've been. Like he's saying he's thinking he'll have to shut down if they go through with it. So I don't know. It hopefully won't be that dire for us where we're at, but it's one of those things that you understand that, everything's getting more expensive, but like at some point we've got to find a way to be more efficient. Both like we're trying to do that as a company. Like we need that from the state as well, or the city and all those things too, to make that make sense. So like, it's tough, and it's,
is it just proposed right now? Is that the thing? Or is it actually already been passed? I'm not aware. I don't know. So.
I think it's proposed.
I believe so.
But I think they're moving forward with the proposal.
Because is it one of those things where we're going to scare you into thinking is this, We're going to work real hard to bring it down. Hey,
Right.
look,
We did.
It only went up half of what we thought it was.
Maybe
and so
so.
you, and because I hate that cat and mouse game that the
I know.
that the local entities play with us, because ultimately, it's like what you and I've discussed in the past. It's not just the owner. You have operators, you have waiters, you have, everybody that's helping out within our company is affected by that. And if the company is to succeed or be viable and stay open, something's got to give. And so I think that efficiency.
Look, he mentioned Acme. Acme's looking at having a $500,000 increase.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they're already paying six figures in property taxes, and
Yeah.
their property taxes are going to go up over $600,000 a year.
He said that was more than their revenue. Like,
Probably more than their profit, not more than their revenue.
Yeah.
okay, that was the word he said. But whatever it is, though.
Yeah. Their revenue is quite higher than that. But
Yeah.
I mean, look, even and I don't know what Acme's revenue is, and that's fine. But let's just say on the, I mean that's a pretty large building.
It is.
Isn't it like 50,000 square feet or something along those lines?
I think that sounds right.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
it's ballpark, right.
It's
Yeah.
the three floors and a rooftop. So.
Yeah. So I mean, you
Downtown.
figure
Do
even
they count the rooftop as usable space if you have access to it? Is that how that's
That
playing
part
into
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because those are
That's a
all
good
elements.
question.
Because I mean, Kid Rock's got rooftop access. Aldean's, I think, Jelly Roll's place does. So if they've all got this rooftop access, is that quote additional square footage? So that counts on that usable space price going up? Or is
Probably
it purely just the
does.
footprint? Yeah, and that's the things I don't know.
Yeah.
But when it plays
look,
into that,
at the end of the day, even if they do 10 million a year and they're profiting $1 million a year, I mean, you just cut their profit in half.
right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
In half.
That's crazy.
And I mean that's beyond. I mean, it's crazy. It's asinine. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, to take half of the money I make every year in property taxes.
And in one fell
Is-
swoop, they didn't even.
in one
Like, there's
fell
no
swoop?
gradual buildup here.
No.
No.
So,
And look, 5 years ago they did a 37% tax increase on
Yeah.
property. So, like in the middle of the pandemic. So I mean, they already went from paying $70,000-$80,000 a year to $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
And now they're going to do another one that's going to be, good Lord,
it's crazy.
I mean, at some point in time, you hit the nail on the head. At some point in time, one of two things happens. You either pay $50 for a cheeseburger and fries,
Yep.
or that business doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And the bad part is our, and I can't even say our, but the mayor of Nashville said, well, that's not my problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the bad part.
well, there's also
because it is his problem.
there's a flip side to this, where Acme is very much part of that downtown touristy group, and then you get the guys like the pharmacy who are in the neighborhoods,
Yeah.
who know their customers. Everybody's coming in. I mean, you and I were at downtown. I paid $21 for a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. Because if I'd gone anywhere else and done that, I'd
Yeah.
have been like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Now, we were being tourists that night. I don't go to Nashville very often, so I was having a big time with it. But
Yeah.
just as easily, I can drive 8 minutes down the road, be at the pharmacy,
Yep.
and enjoy probably a waiter or waitress that I know who I have a conversation with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get to know the guy behind the counter, and I know my food is sourced locally instead of out of the third tier kitchen here or whatever. And
Sure.
and so there's that aspect there of there's a push and pull, and I hope that some of this translates. I don't want to decimate the tourist part of Nashville, but I hope that some of this translates to getting back to the neighborhood support of the local folks and being able to encourage them and being able to kind of keep my local spot, local. So
Yeah. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and dive a little bit more into the pharmacy and the local.
Most brands want something clean, polished, quite frankly, forgettable. Dead Meat Society is for the ones that just don't quite fit the mold. For the late nights, that meaty perfection, the hunger inside. Join the society, stay soft. deadmeatsociety.com. Go check it out.
Welcome back to Single Tree Nation, guys. Look, we are sitting here with Daniel from the pharmacy, and we are chit-chatting about all kinds of things Nashville. But we're gonna circle back around and dive into more about the pharmacy. Daniel, for those who don't know who and what the pharmacy is, give us a little bit of synopsis of what is the pharmacy?
Yeah, so we're the pharmacy, Burger Parlor, and Beer Garden. Our flagship full-service brick-and-mortar restaurant is in East Nashville, opened December 27th of 2011. So we're in our 15th year. We've been around a good little while, and it's been great to be in East Nashville, where we've really seen the neighborhood rapidly change in that 15 years. That kind of right at the beginning of the 2010s, it went from an area a lot of people would have avoided, or there wasn't really a reason to go, to lots of families, lots of young people moving in, which is what I did at that time. And it was really cool to see that process happen really rapidly over that next 5 years. And then now it's like, it feels like this established thing. There's a Publix now, and there's, the sad news is we've lost, we had a couple local grocery stores through that process. One of those closed, and we still have the other. But at the same time, it's a better place to raise a family than it used to be. And so like being a part of that change, has been really exciting. But we serve burgers. Our tagline is Nashville's worst burger, because we also make our own sausages in-house. We have a custom-built smoker where we case, grind, and smoke our own German sausages, German-style sausages, which we're really proud of. Beautiful, large beer garden out in the backyard. Actually, with the ice storm, we lost a bunch of tree limbs, so we just rehung all our our nice string lights out there in the last few days to get ready for the spring season. But there's nothing I love better than a warm Friday night where we can sit and have a beer in the backyard with a burger. And sometimes after I work, I'll call my wife and say, like, I just got to sit out here for a few minutes, just because the energy's like, it's just so infectious. I'm just going to go sit in the side and just soak it up. So I'm excited to be in that, be back in that season now that springtime's coming. I think we're gonna have our nice first weather, or excuse me, our first nice weather Saturday this weekend. So
that is going to be.
I'm excited for it.
70s,
70 and sunny. Man.
Yep.
March
Patio.
1st. Let's go.
I know it's gonna be dangerous. So,
So when did the pharmacy open?
2011.
2011.
Very end of 2011, December 2011, which the owner, Case Brinkman, had put an extra mortgage on his house to get it done. And if they had not been able to open in those last 4 days, it would have all gone under, because he had to have the tax breaks to get it going. So he was able to claim the losses on that year and get it going. So it's like by the skin of the teeth, the restaurant exists. So, but they got it there, and then people started showing up, and a bit of the rest is history. That first year was like, there was a lot of great local buzz. There weren't a lot of burger joints. There was, Gabby's, there was Routiers back in the day. Then there was us, and Burger Up opened up in those few years. But things took off, and it went from just locals enjoying us to being known to as not necessarily a tourist destination, but a place people would say to come while you're in town, which was kind of fun. And thankfully we had the large capacity outside to host a lot of people, both visiting and that were, living in the area, which repeat customers that you can get a feel for, like you were saying. There's nothing better than that. Although it's awesome to say, like, hey, we literally got off our plane, or we're on our way to our plane, and you're our last stop. Absolutely. Or our first stop. It's a great feeling. It's great. So 15 years, it's really sunk in in the last year or two, as we started that 15-year number, which is not an anniversary people, I feel like, fixate on, 10 and 20 and maybe 25, maybe feel bigger, but still, like, 15 years as a restaurant being around. And I've worked there since 2014, personally, March. I'm coming on my 12th year. It gets to where it's like, wow, this is a long time. We've been able to plant roots We've been able to grow a little bit. We've got a spot at the Assembly Food Hall that opened in 2021. And so like, it's been great to serve more Nashvillians and more people in the city, but it's exciting knowing that what we do, we still see people that move in to the city all the time, and they're like, wow, this place is amazing. Like, oh, and then you see them every Thursday, for a while. So it's like, or for a long time. And, so it's fun to know that like, okay, like we're not just a place that people like, we're still resonating with people that are discovering us, whether they're new to the city or visiting. It's like, it's a good feeling. So,
I still remember my first time.
really?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know what I ordered. I was like, it was, I know the burger and the beer, like it was awesome.
Amazing.
And I was like, this is exactly the kind of place that I would come frequently if I lived close.
I appreciate that.
We were in town for a concert or something, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is where we're going. Like
Yeah.
I'd heard some buzz about it, had some friends that had moved to East Nashville. Said, hey, you need to go try it.
I love it.
And I mean, I got the farm burger.
There you go.
And I don't remember the exact name. It was the dark beer from Black Abbey. And I'm talking about it paired like, oh, that was so good. And like it's seriously like, and I've been back a handful of times since then. And if I'm in the area, I will go like it's one of those for me that I look forward to going to.
Oh,
I'll I'm not gonna make a special trip from Nashville for it anymore.
Yeah.
Younger me would have.
Yeah.
But if I'm close.
Now, have y'all always done your own sausage?
Yes, we didn't always have our own smoker. We used like a trailer smoker for the first few years, but then we built out a smoker. So we don't talk about it enough. So sometimes it gets kind of like lost in the shuffle. And lately we've been kind of smoking our own pork belly a bit and trying to play with it a little more. But I love the sausages. Now, since the last few years, we used to make like 6, 7, 8 sausages, different types, but we've kind of been focusing in on a Jägerwurst and a Bratwurst and a mostly these days, which the brat still hits exactly like I like it. And our horseradish mustard, I think, is just so tasty. So there's nothing like that, especially in the October when there's just a little crisp in the air with a nice Oktoberfest beer. It's just heaven. But
We have.
I now want it to be October all of a sudden.
Right.
I just went
you
from
can
February.
have it now.
Absolutely. I just went from February to October right now.
Right this minute.
Here we go. Like that's,
Well, we know you're a fall and autumn
I
guy.
am.
Yes,
I identify as fall autumn, and we're good to go. But
I have recently. I've never been really good at making sausage,
Okay.
and over the last year or so, I've really worked really hard at learning it, right?
Sure.
And trying to get better at it. And I've asked some friends and people that are good at it, hey, well, when this happens, what's the reason? And just trying to learn, it's a science, and it's very interesting because do you cure it? Do you don't cure it?
Yeah.
Do you slow smoke it? Do you cook it all the way? How do you, there's so many different factors, right?
Yeah.
Who at the restaurant is the sausage expert?
So, we've had a number of guys over the year, and there's like a direct lineage of guys who've like passed down. Right now, our my prep manager William is handling that, and he's one of our other prep cooks will help him on that when he's not around. But it's a lot of artistry where you're building the fire, making sure the wood's right, the heat's right, and getting that smoke, coming billowing over the way our smoker works. But they do a great job with it. But we had another gentleman who was doing it overnight for a long time, but he's not working for us anymore. But and then he learned it from the 2 gentlemen that did it. But actually the Gifford's Bacon was one of our first people to do the smoking with us. He was working with our prep team when we first opened. Nate Gifford from Gifford's Bacon, and we were buying his bacon for a while too, which was kind of a fun little full circle moment for us. But we love him a lot, so that was fun. But he helped develop a lot of our recipes. that we are a lot of them are still using. You know, you zhuzh things over the years here and there, but that's still the thing. But William is the smoke master these days. But we'll with his duties of prep manager in the wintertime when we're a little slower, it's a little easier for him to manage. So we'll need to probably get somebody else we'll need him to kind of pass that magic down pretty soon here.
Yeah. Sausage is there's science, math, and finesse. Like to be able to case sausage properly.
Yeah,
and consistently
and have it be consistent and each link be the same size and not be overfilled or underfilled and not pop every casing and like there's it's an art form and like I'm getting into it, but it is, man.
Yeah. And then here Kramer was on Seinfeld with a kitchen full, just make it look so easy. They're strung up everywhere. Yeah. He's like, "What do you mean move the operation?" And they just walk out the door next one. I'm like, "What?" Like, because I've not done what you guys do, but I've made sausages a couple times. Love the outcome. Hate what goes into it because I feel like it's a gamble. I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
And so that's why when I see, especially local spots who are making their own, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Because I know the finesse that goes into there. You've done the legwork.
Yeah.
We ground it. We did this. Cool beans. You got your recipe down. The finesse is the part that people miss, and it's a challenge.
Look, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. When I started this whole process with sausage and making my own, I had a 3-pound hand cranked sausage stuffer. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the big tabletop one that is like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like that big, it's got the huge handle on it.
And it's got a big vat.
Right there.
Yeah.
You should cylinder. You shove all your sausage.
Should have hired somebody just to do that because that thing is a monster to operate.
You crank this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have to crank it at the right speed and have the right pressure with your other hand holding the casings. And you can do 3 pounds at a time.
Wow.
Okay.
That's not a ton.
It's not a lot.
No,
it's not a lot.
Give me a ballpark. Like how many links is that roughly?
6.
I was about to say, it's not.
Maybe 8.
Yeah, I was about 6 to 8. Yeah. Kind of.
Wow.
Yeah. Depending on how big you make your links.
Yeah.
Right.
So your lunchtime order better.
So, and when you're doing it by hand like that with the crank, that 3 pounds would probably take you from stuffing it and then linking it, probably take you half an hour.
Yeah.
For 3 pounds.
Wow.
Make 8 links.
So there's an investment also. Like if you're going equipment wise and whatever.
So, now I got a big, huge one that, it's,
but that you didn't get that for free. You didn't inherit that.
Oh, no, I had to buy it.
That's what I'm saying. And so like you have a time investment because if you're having to sit there and bring them all out and stuff, but you've also, your equipment is a lot larger than just
the sausage stuffer that I have now, I made 40 pounds today.
Wow.
In 35 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the efficiency we were talking about that our local governments need.
I know.
Go from 8 links to 3 pounds to 40 pounds, same time frame. Like, let's make that happen.
Right. And look, I have always said the best government officials should be restaurant managers. we every day
or vice versa.
Yeah, he meant the vice versa.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So
every day we're looking for waste.
Yes.
Every day we're solving problems that nobody knows how to fix. We fix labor shortages.
I was going to say short staffed, right?
Yeah.
We're good.
We fix all inefficiencies of everything.
Yeah.
Cost management, quality assurance, logistics, you name it, we can fix it. It's great.
I'm 100% supportive of this.
Yeah.
Well, the thing, and now we don't have to fully circle back to this. I wish the thing, and now you don't get total economic development from the government in a top-down sense, but I just wish there was less extract tax from people that are doing it and more like, hey, how do we create more tax? Like, how do we create more tax dollars by how do we develop this area that's producing nothing right now?
Right. Yeah.
Like this place is a wasteland.
Right.
How do we get that? Like, okay, let's help some business owners get in here and because then oh, those people can pay you a reasonable tax. But right now, this is like empty warehouses.
Don't
doing
rob your
nothing.
producers.
No,
right? Exactly.
Don't rob exactly.
Right.
Don't over-index on the people creating things. Because guess what? Like how do we get more people in here? So I don't know. It's sad that
if you've got more contributors, it eases the burden on everybody.
Absolutely.
And so and you've got, especially in a place like Nashville,
yes,
you've got space that's just not as efficient or even being used at all. I mean, there's some of those parts around downtown when you're driving in.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's just dead zone. And then all of a sudden
it's very strange.
Yes,
the way it is. And Second Avenue is still not really recovered.
Right.
Too. Which I know is a whole
recovered. We drove down Second this weekend.
Some of it's back a little bit.
Some of it is, but you get on that, I'm going to call it outer fringe, where it used to hustle bustle all the way down.
Yeah.
And once you leave that main little segment, it is just, lights out. Like, and we were there late because we were there for the concert, and it was just all of a sudden like, somebody turned lights out at 10 p.m. Like, because that place was wild.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, it's not back, but you hope that those things are coming back around and over time and longevity and that'll come back. Because, these are staples that have been in Nashville. Heck, since I was in high school and even been before then, but I'm putting that as a time frame of 25 years. And it has been around to where you recognize these elements and you recognize those things. I do think that being able to hang on to some of those traditions, and that's why when you were mentioning that 15-year mark earlier, it's not a heavy celebrated one, but now we've got some roots.
Yeah.
We've got somebody that came in at 2015 who still orders the same burger.
Yeah.
I may not be there 3 times a year, but I know why I go to the pharmacy. Yeah. And I know what I'm getting and I know what I expect. But those roots have been developed. And so after 15 years, whether you've got your locals or your regulars or whatever, or the tour spots and whatever, that builds, because now I'm looking at 15 years of not just, well, we made it, we're succeeding, and we know what we want to achieve out of this. Yeah, and that brings a beautiful spot. I think 15 is definitely worth celebrating.
Every year in business.
Oh, sure.
We're celebrating.
Oh, sure.
Wildly. Absolutely. Yeah. But as far as a recognizable moment, like,
it's just not as sexy of a number.
It's not.
10 and 25 feel, it's like, I agree. It's still like, once you've been 15 years married, it's the same thing of like, you look at that and it's like, wait a minute, that's right. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Like
I said that to my wife yesterday.
Yeah. Well, like you could think about it. The pharmacy can almost drive, like when they get a learner's permit.
Well, see,
and it can still run off the rails.
Yeah, it's a little, but we can drive now.
We're good to go.
We're good to go. Yeah. So it's like,
y'all should throw yourselves a quince. Like, just get out there and have a ball
with
it. There you go.
We really should. We need to do
have
something.
a Spanish burger for the month of December.
Yeah,
I guess that'd be, I don't know if it's a Spanish or a Mexican burger, but one or the other. That'd be awesome. Yeah. So that'd be a blast.
Well, Daniel,
welcome to our quince.
Every show we have a segment that's called Dinner for Two. Okay. If you could have dinner with someone, past, present, or future, who would it be and why?
Oh, goodness.
I love that I'm giving you time to think here. I'm helping you out. That's everybody's response. Oh, I wish I'd had that beforehand. No, that's the beautiful part of it. That's the beauty of it. So,
yeah.
So, dinner for two. With the whole dinner. Past, present. Would you say or future?
Yeah.
I can imagine a person.
You can imagine a person. You'll be the first. You'll be the first one to do it. Like that's. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, the 91st president of the United States. I want to talk to them. No,
you don't have to be here a while. Just
I know.
Wow. That's a few years from now.
I know. Hey, that'd be good news. I think.
Can I imagine a person? I've heard you say that phrase so many times, and it's never crossed my mind. What is a future person? That is phenomenal.
I know. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, I know. We'll figure that one out.
I feel like we need to go back and rehash this with some folks. Did you know we were giving you options here? Like, you just make people up like this.
If we can get a translator in, this is something. I'd love to have dinner with Joan of Arc.
Wow.
Because, like, there's so many mysterious things happening around that girl. And then she was such an impressive person. And we have a lot of historical record about it. Like, I think that would be fascinating. And this is mostly just because I'd done some reading about her recently. So she just kind of came to mind. But like, I think that would be a phenomenal dinner. I don't know what she would eat or what she would want to eat.
That's fine.
But I would love to have a chat.
Whole hog?
I would love to have a chat.
Barely cooked.
Caveat being, if I've got to speak old world French, then we just kind of stare at each
Sure.
other.
Nah,
Then
then
maybe
you're
not worth it.
Maybe not so
We'll
much.
consider the communication is not the hurdle that we have to worry about.
Okay, if we can move that out.
Like
I'd
I
love-
said, you can make up somebody.
Yeah,
So I think the communication
Surely
would
we
be
can
fine.
get a translator.
Yes,
here.
we can figure this in. We can figure this out.
Since you brought up a historical person, do you find that with some of the revealings of what we get in the news cycles and just in the world today, that, and maybe this is just me, I may be putting myself on an island out here. Do you find that some of the stuff you start to be a little bit more of a skeptic of what we've probably been fed for our entire lives?
Oh, that's interesting.
Let me put a caveat on that. From an accuracy standpoint, because we know that there's a whole world of history that we aren't fully aware of.
Look, I'm not going to call somebody out on the air, but I have someone very close to me that says we haven't been to the moon
Yeah.
and is adamant that we haven't been to the moon.
Yeah.
That the whole thing is a farce.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
I'll put myself out there. And the last about 3 years, I've started to buy in more. I've started buying more of that argument.
I question.
And-
Like if you look at the actual suit and the boots,
Sure.
they're flat, and then the picture, they're ribbed.
But
The
I'll just
camera
say I
angles.
question.
Yeah.
I'm not adamant. No way, it didn't happen yet.
Yeah.
But and that kind of drives what I'm saying. Since you brought the historical figure,
I understand.
but especially the things that are even older than, let's say, production. 100, 200 years old. Things that were back before. We know we have record of it. We know we've got this. I like to think that I do consider myself to be fairly well informed. And I hope that there's some of that out there that, like, that's what really did happen. That I didn't get taken for a farce because every textbook writer put their take on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a good question. I think with a lot of this, like, we can have a good sense, but you've got to just be like intelligent about the way you read and who you read about this stuff. And there's definitely a lot of like apocryphal stories about people that just like became truth that's not true. I mean,
Right.
Obviously we all know it's fake, but the George Washington cherry tree type stuff.
Exactly.
How many things in our stories are like that? But at the same time, I wonder how often like that story was to tell people what kind of character George Washington was. I sometimes wonder, was that story like true in like a mythic sense?
Right.
Was that the character of the man?
Right.
So like the story's not true in the sense he cut down a cherry tree and told, but like, was he so honorable that he would tell? So like, that's why that story came about. Or was it just a bold-faced lie because people were trying to create a narrative? That's the part I don't know.
He's just political take.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. But I think he was a man of high character, so I think it's the other one. But I think we can have a decent sense. And I think honestly, sometimes over the years, some things in the past we can actually have more certainty about than some of the things happening right now.
Completely agree with that.
So because you're able to actively spin narratives, but like I do think as time goes on, some of that stuff sometimes I feel like generally speaking the truth like
it finds its way.
Eventually
the cream
comes
rises.
out. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, with AI today, you can put things out that are just completely bold-faced lies that look
look real.
The two parts I'm going to bring up to that, a lot of people point to that first video of Will Smith eating spaghetti and how broken and chopped and whatever it was. Like, it's weird, you know.
Yeah.
They redid it.
Yes.
In the past few weeks.
Yeah.
And it's wildly scary.
Yeah.
Now, instead of having 4 fingers and a wooden spaghetti noodle, like you're seeing the finer details of his face and like the wrinkles in the mouth and the hair, the mustache and stuff. And so there's elements there.
Yep.
The flip side of that is one of the guys who helps with OpenAI he said it's going faster than even we had anticipated.
Yeah.
If it's going faster than what the developers anticipated, it does make me wonder, just like I become a skeptic. And I think that's natural for me personally. I don't know that everybody's that way. I get to a point where I don't trust anything. I don't even trust weird headlines now.
I got on an AI tool the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do love using it. Let me be clear.
But I told it to make a picture of my wife, quote unquote, make a picture of my wife sitting in a bathtub of barbecue sauce, eating a chicken wing in front of my restaurant.
And it did it.
It was scary.
Yeah.
It literally, I went, honey.
That's strange.
Like, I mean, just something just completely off the wall,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Just to see what it would come up with. And it looked like my wife was sitting in it looked like a horse trough of barbecue sauce, eating a chicken wing.
Charlie just gave y'all a sneak peek at his next promo. Horse trough of barbecue sauce.
Hey,
y'all line up.
Yeah. We're trying to get it into retail.
You talk about this. A story I read today was a guy. He had a name I can't remember, but he bought a $2,000 robot vacuum. He wanted to program it so that he could control it with a joystick, or not a joystick, but it was a Xbox controller.
Okay.
So he goes to Claude Code, which is one of the AI coding tools. He says, make me, get the VPN, get the stuff so that I can control this thing. He goes, okay. It did it. He plugged it in. He was able to control it using the AI tool. But then turns out he was able to use that code that it built to access 7,000 different of their vacuums all over the world and use their cameras to see into people's homes and to see their layouts of their house and everything from literally minutes of work because their security wasn't good. Now, he reported it to the
You're so
company.
glad he's the one that found it, right?
I know. He reported it, and within 2 days, they had it patched, and now you can't do that. But think of how many things in our world... How many things in our world are like that?
Absolutely.
But people that couldn't code now
I don't have to.
You can.
I just need to write the prompt.
You have to write the prompt to build the code.
So that's it. That's absolutely
Somebody
weird,
said
weird
something.
world.
Yeah, man.
Somebody said something to me the other day about it, and they were like, "Well, I don't even know what to ask it." And I said, "That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You can tell it that you don't know what to ask it, and just tell it what you want the outcome to be.
Yeah.
And it will come up with it for you.
It's true.
That's such a wild concept.
It's a strange thing.
It's backwards.
I do have a unique, I don't know if it's unique. I do have a concern just with some of the amount of water that's being used.
Sure.
When there's a consumption of this and like where they're locating some of the data centers and stuff like that.
California and stuff, yeah.
And so there's a wild catch-22 here of what goes along with that.
Yes.
And it's a, to what you said, there's a lot of things in our world that are just wildly different. So
one piece of good news there is you can build the data centers where the coolant is a single use system. The water goes in once, it creates steam, comes in, and then circles back around. So it's like if it's designed well, you could actually even if you think about it well enough, you could actually use it to create heat for you could have it be really efficiently used.
yes, okay.
So I'm hopeful that as more time goes on, they'll be thoughtful about those things. It still uses less water than the almonds.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Almonds aren't even all that good. Like,
They're
what are
not,
we doing
but I
here?
have been fixated on this info for about 2 weeks now.
What?
The average water consumption to produce one almond is like 3.8 gallons.
Yeah, the nut
per almond.
It's
so when you get a
crazy.
bag of 100, that's like 400 gallons of water that's been consumed to create that bag from harvest time to everything. And there's a seasonal, and because it has to so much time and this, and then the breakdown of the almond has to be like again, water consumption. And it has consumed me for about 3 weeks now since I found this.
Yeah.
And I had an almond the other day, and for just a moment, I felt guilty. I was like, because you know what other thing is highly consuming of water? Avocados.
Yeah.
And I
didn't know
love
that
them.
one.
And they all come from Southern California. It's the biggest location for both of them for environment and everything else.
Yeah.
But it plays into some of the water issues that
they
region.
do have to, like, they have
Is
to
that why
basically ship in the
California
water.
didn't have no water?
I'm not going to say why.
The avocados?
It plays an element in it, for the region.
Yes.
And because avocados and almonds are your two biggest consumers of water in that element.
area.
And like you said, they're funneling water in or pumping it in
Yes.
from other places to not rob California
That
of
and
its supply.
bees. They have to do it with bees. They have to ship in bees for the same. It's the same
Yeah,
thing. It's really hard on the bees.
But the bee, the death rate for the bees is too high, and that's why
Yes.
they're having to ship them in because
Yes.
they need the pollinators.
Yeah.
So
No, the almond production is like, we just actually need to, like, it's okay if we, like, almonds get a little more expensive. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. I feel
I
like we
completely
can just,
think that.
Yeah, we can just do with fewer
We can
almonds.
curb some of the consumption if you'll jack that
Yeah.
rice, and then that way it's only for the people that need it.
Yeah.
But like just this daily almond use, let's get rid of
Well,
that.
if you can't do dairy milk, oat milk's better anyways. Like, just drink oat milk.
Right.
We got plenty of oats. We don't need almond milk.
don't need almond
We don't
milk. That's
need
right.
almond
So
milk if you can't do dairy.
Look into
Like,
it seriously. It's wild.
It is crazy.
Like I'm completely blown away right now.
Yeah.
I've known about it for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I think I found out about it during the ice storm.
3.7 gallons of water for one almond.
Ish,
Yeah.
somewhat. I mean, it may be
It's-
slightly higher,
yeah.
slightly lower, but it's more than it should be.
3.5 to 4 gallons of water.
I remember, though, you talk about almonds. I want to say there's a Bible story in Genesis where some king or somebody comes in and gives a gift, and it was like, and he gave Abraham 6 almonds, and they're like, wow.
Now you know why. That's
No,
the
it's
most
like,
expensive.
I know. Back then it was like, whoa, 6 of them?
This guy.
Yeah,
No
he's
need
rich.
to show out.
He's rich. That's a lot of almonds. And we're just like bags of shaking them around.
Roasting them out
Yeah.
here. Like, I messed up that batch
Yeah.
next. Like,
Go to Sam's.
it
go
makes
to
you
Dollar.
appreciate the candied almond at Auntie B's or
There it
whatever.
is.
Like, you know, that's just that's a real treat
A
now.
lot went into this. You really don't need to waste an almond. We can reduce, but the ones we do have, we really do need to
hang on
treasure them.
those.
Need to treasure them.
That's awesome. I'm glad somebody else is informed on this because I've been wanting to have this conversation with somebody because it has blown my mind.
Well, let's circle back around.
Oh my gosh, we keep meandering. Yeah.
We have gone down some rabbit holes
Yeah, we have.
today. So if we go back to the pharmacy, we talk about some burgers for a minute. So we talked about the sausage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of the sausage side. I think that's just a craft all in its own.
Yeah.
You know, but you guys are known for your burgers.
We're known for the burgers.
The burgers are phenomenal.
Thank you.
Derry's talked about it. I'll say it. You have, if not the best, one of the best burgers in Nashville.
Thank you.
You don't hear about it in the airport coming off of the plane if it's not really good, right?
Yeah.
I know there's a pharmacy in the airport now, but even before that, you guys have been known for a while. 15 years of service here in Nashville. It's crazy. So, what's your go-to? What you go, hey, it's Saturday on the patio, 70 degrees. We get a cold beer, and what burger are we going for?
Lately, it's a burger we call our barbecue burger. So I know you actually make barbecue. There's no smoked meat on that burger. So there's just barbecue sauce.
Got it.
We make a barbecue sauce. It's a Coca-Cola barbecue sauce that I actually think is quite good. And it just comes with crispy fried onions. Typically comes with provolone cheese, but I'll throw some pepper jack on there, and then just pickle and our barbecue sauce is just a really nice, smoky, sweet, tangy. You know, all the barbecue sauce things, and with the crispy onions, and you got that little acid and a little heat there. It's just what's been kind of tickling me. We also have
It also includes Gifford's bacon.
it does. Excuse me. There's also bacon. Yeah. So it's
Because I just scrolled down and looked at that.
He
That
went to
sounds
look at
pretty
it.
good.
It's
That
very
is
tasty.
fine.
It's very tasty.
That does
very
it to you?
tasty.
Man, I mean,
Now-
my go-to is the farm burger. I've
Yeah.
always said that. Like that is the combination of the fried egg and the bacon, and like it is, y'all nailed that.
Thank you.
What I was going to bring up though, because what I noticed with that, do y'all locally source your buns and stuff like that?
We do. So the historically they were made by a French bakery called Provence. Some things happened to them, and they shifted. We then were working with. Their baker was hired by Frothy Monkey, and they make our buns now.
Okay,
but they were just Frothy Monkey. And I hope I don't know if I'm breaking news here, but they sold the bakery to new owners. So they sold their they're like separating out the coffee division and the restaurants. To focus on that, the Frothy owners. But the new company's called Bake Dance. It's got a little logo with a bear on it. I just met the owners, the new owners this week, and they kept. What was really cool was they're in the same bakery. They kept all the employees. They were like, we don't want to change anything. We just want to, or we don't want to make any sweeping changes, except for like eventually they want to, maybe add some more offerings, increase capacity, and some other things there. But that was very positive. But those are made locally for us. It's been the same recipe. It's a unique recipe that we kind of designed together.
What kind of bun is it?
We call it a yeast roll. But what they do for it is they par bake it, and then we toast it on site. So it's as close as you can get to fresh bread without actually having fresh bread there. So, it's a unique kind of doughy texture, but it's great. No preservatives, all fresh, and I'm a big fan of it, and I think it sets our burger apart. Like the brioche, somewhere between the little Martin's roll and the brioche bun is kind of the meta in burgers, and ours is very different than that.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with a brioche bun. Like it's buttery, it's tasty, it's great. But I don't know. You can get that almost anywhere, I think.
But whatever y'all did to build that recipe, like it's perfect. Like y'all nailed that with how y'all build the burger.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here. I just realized you have a Chipotle slap burger.
That was my other, and the grilled jalapenos, excuse me, and the Chipotle avocado aioli. A lot of water went into that aioli, but it was my other favorite for a long time, and I have recently shimmied over.
Now, if you are telling a listener that hasn't been to the pharmacy, you got to come and check us out, and you got to get this. What are they going to get that is the epitome of the pharmacy?
So I would say, really for us, and especially for all 15 years, I would get the cheeseburger, which we have now dubbed the 3 cheeseburger, because people ask for a cheeseburger and we have to do the whole rigmarole. So dubbing it 3 cheese helps, but kind of signify it. But that's a burger with cheddar, Swiss, and Munster with a garlic aioli and tomato. And it's so simple, but it was my favorite when I used to eat that at least once or twice a week before I worked there in the few years they were open before. And it was still my favorite for a long time after. And something about the way those cheeses blend with the garlic, it's so delicious. And it tickles, while being a unique burger, it tickles a lot of the classic burger tastes. So it's one that's accessible. The only thing, some people don't do garlic. So if you don't do garlic, we can sub out a different sauce and probably make you happy. But that's the way I go. If you're going to have you got to have one of our handmade sodas. So we have an old timey soda rail. We have a literal 1950s refurbished soda gun with the jet stream on one side and the slow pour on the other. So you got to get a creamsicle. We're also hand spinning shakes. So you need to have a soda, you need to have a shake. And then we've also got the lovely beer garden. So I know I've kind of branched out into probably more things than you were mentioning there, but like we have a Duvel is a Belgian beer. We love our local beer, but being a German style beer garden, we love our import beer. And we have one of only, I think, 20 Duvel draft lines in the country. Duvel is such a high carbonated beer that we had to get installed a specialty line that was pressurized enough. And you have to literally change it's so intense. You have to change the line every time to a fresh line, you change a keg. So there's a lime that comes with it each time. You have to like feed it through and do a whole thing. It doesn't take that long, thankfully, but it comes in a nice big glass with a huge head on it. And sipping one of those in the beer garden is just like when the weather's crisp, it's just nice. It's a 10% beer, but it still drinks light. It's phenomenal. The other beer we've served a lot.
I know what I want to do on Saturday now.
There you
I
go.
just can't wait.
There you go. But that right to me. And honestly though, the cheeseburger's perfect. The Duvel with all that like crispy effervescence goes so good with the Chipotle slap. Oh my gosh. With all that. Oh, it's greasy in all the right ways.
Right.
And then that effervescence just cuts it off your tongue. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Man.
That's outstanding.
Go look at the menu. Like
I have.
Their menu sells itself so easily.
Oh, I'm glad.
And I mean, it reads right. You're hitting all the points, but like the picture of that.
Since I first started talking, I've been thinking about when and where and how I can get up there. So it's wonderful.
My word.
I love that. Well, how can people find the pharmacy, social medias, hours of operations, all the things?
So thepharmacyburger.com is our website. You know, we have a newsletter. We're not going to spam your inbox, but we'll send you updates about what's going on with us. We're at the Pharmacy Nashville on Instagram. It's the Pharmacy on Facebook. And I do believe we have a TikTok that one of my managers runs, but I can't remember. If you search pharmacy, it'll come up.
Right.
So I don't personally use TikTok, but those are a great way to keep up with us. Look at pictures of our food, sees what's going on.
Y'all run like seasonal or monthly specials or anything?
We do. Right. Lately, we've been running weekly specials, focused on the weekends. But we recently did a duck burger where we cleaned our own ducks in house, ground the meat with some smoked pork belly and a raspberry aioli, and it was life-changing.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That,
So we've done a bison, we've done a
definitely
wagyu, we've done an elk, we've done a bunch of fun things.
Yeah.
So each weekend, look out for something fun. Usually starting Friday night and going until we sell out.
Okay.
So something fun for the people.
Awesome. Derry, you got a Friday feel good for
I
us?
do. Elizabeth Gilbert has a quote, says, "It is better to live your own destiny imperfectly than to live an imitation of someone else's life with perfection." Make sure that you're doing your life your way, taking care of things, even as imperfect it may seem. It's yours. Y'all know what to do. Find somebody you know, tell them you love them.
That's outstanding. Brother, I appreciate you coming to hang out with us for a little while today. Thank you so much. Y'all go check out my man at the pharmacy. Get the slap, the farm, just get a burger. You will not be disappointed. I'm going to have to try some sausage the next time I come
Absolutely.
up there. And what was that beer again?
The Duvel.
Duvel.
Belgian strong ale.
Belgian strong ale Duvel. Look, y'all know what to do. If you want to get involved with the show, please feel free to reach out to me at charlie@singletreebbq.com. You can call me at 615-307-0120. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We air every Saturday and Sunday morning on ESPN 94.9 The Fan. And until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
Y'all be good.